Friends, it's Father Charles Cowan, and I am so excited to share with you a new book that I found. This is a children's book, but I think that people of all ages will like it, or at least I'm old and I like it. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and I thought I'd share it with you today. So I'm going to try to share a screen so you can see it. We'll see if this works. Here it is. It's called Hey, That's Not What the Bible Says. It's written and illustrated by Bill Ross. And it tells stories of the Bible, maybe the way we want to hear them, followed by the way they actually are in the Bible. So let's read a story. I'll click through. In the beginning, God created everything else. Then God created Adam and Eve, perfect people in a perfect world. The only thing God asked of Adam and Eve was that they not eat the fruit from a special tree. So they didn't. And all the people of the world lived happily ever after, forever and ever. The end. Hey, that's not what the Bible says. Oops. Okay, so Adam and Eve messed up. Satan tricked them and they ate the fruit that God told them not to eat. And that's when they first sinned. Sin is when we do something that we know God does not want us to do. And so now we can read the real story of Adam and Eve from the book of Genesis. In the beginning, God made the earth and the sky, but the earth was empty and dark. So God made the light, and there was day and night. Next, he made water and land. He filled the earth with plants, fish, birds, and animals. Then God made the most wonderful creature of all. He made a man and a woman in his own likeness, and they were called Adam and Eve. God planted a beautiful garden, and he called it Eden. And in the garden, God put every kind of tree that was good for food. Then God put Adam and Eve in the garden to live there and to care for it. God only had one rule in the garden. You must not eat from the tree that gives knowledge of good and evil. God said, if you eat that fruit, you will die. One day, the snake, who was really the devil, spoke to Eve. Eat the fruit, the snake said. You will not die. You will learn about good and evil. Then you will be like God. Eve believed the snake's lie, so she ate some of the fruit. Eve also gave some to Adam, and he ate it. Adam and Eve then heard God walking in the garden, and they were afraid, so they hid from God. But God knew what Adam and Eve had done. He punished them by making them leave the garden, and they would now have to work hard for their food. They would grow old, and one day they would die, just as God had said. And that story comes from the first 3 chapters of Genesis. Is that a story that you've heard before? Maybe. It's a story that is foundational, especially in many of our Christian texts. St. Augustine writes at length about it. It's a good story to read as a family. It's a good story to go back and see what pieces of that story do we think are there that maybe aren't there? What pieces are there that we hadn't noticed before? I think it's really interesting that Adam and Eve have everything they need in that garden and more. And God gives them a simple rule: eat whatever you want except this one tree. And they want more, so they eat the one thing God told them not to. I wonder in our own lives, when do we do things that we know are bad for us, but we just have to have more? We can have all we need, and then we want more. So something to think about. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's a fun one for me to share. It's fun for me to hear that story in a new way. And I invite you as a family or with friends to read Genesis 1, 2, and 3 out loud together. It might be fun to read at dinner or as a bedtime story and see how you might retell the story. Thanks for joining me, and I hope we'll see you again real soon. Bye.